Hello. Why is the music not playing? Not this one. Mm-hmm. Today, we are finally going to Tuchanka. I just should talk to Morden first. And we should be good to go. I like variety in my life, to be honest. That's why we're starting every stream with me staring at the armor design screen. I'm not feeling it. TBH. Red for Rex. Kinda pink. Kinda red, kinda pink. Color of old blood and rust. Fish. Feed. Morden. Hello. My favorite Solarian.
Shepard, important news. Know you're busy. Have to deal with the collectors. Planning attack. Too important to wait. Just receiving data. Still processing, analyzing likely scenarios. Not sure how to begin. Too much intel. You remember our talk?
Very hyper.
My work on genophage modification?
You stopped the Krogan adaptation to the genophage.
Part of a team. Scientists, all different types. Blood pack mercenaries captured former team member. Malin, last seen on Tuchanka, might torture him, make an example. Recovering Malin would be a personal favor to me.
Do you think they found out your team updated the genophage?
Unclear. No way to determine until we get to Tuchanka.
We'll go to Tuchanka and see if we can find your team member.
Appreciate it. My assistant, my student, want to see him safe. Malin last seen outside Erdnot territory. Scouts might have seen Bloodpack. Talk to them or clan chief.
Okay. I shall do that.
Samara wants a moment with you, Commander.
I probably should scan a system or... Oh, yeah, I should scan this system definitely. Before we go. Let's be real.
Probe launched.
Or I will have too much left
Probe launched.
at the end of the game.
Probe launched.
Canas. Canas' extremity atmosphere is mostly methane and helium. The Solarian explorers who named the system set up a small mining presence for recovering nickel and chromium used in making stainless steel. Theresus. A hydrogen helium gas giant, Theresus has a discrete automated infrastructure for refueling merchant vessels with helium-3 painted into the metal of the Solarian dialector that would self-serve. Solarian Station. Derelict Solarian Station. That star is very close to the sun. Urus, a large rock planet with pressure cooker atmosphere of nitrogen and argon. First silicate-rich crust is relatively low density. It was largely ignored by Solarian explorers who first charted the system. It was also largely ignored by the writers of this game, I'd say. Who decided to not say anything interesting about it.
Probe launched.
Not me completely forgetting to open my Twitch.
Launching probe. Launching probe.
Well, I have mastered the art of listening to do different things at the same time. Like when I
Launching probe.
listen to a podcast or something that in one ear and to the music in the other.
Probe away.
I've been feeling like I wish I could watch two different things at the same time as well. As in, like, I want to watch like a TV series or drama or movie or anime with one eye, and then watch the people's words I want to watch with another eye, and actually observe both equally. There's just not enough time in the day. A large rock plant, and this was once under development by a consortium of rubber mining interests. But a pandemic of accidents and sabotage cost the lives of hundreds of workers and eventually drove them off the world. Despite numerous accusations among the mining corporations and a dozen more trials, popular opinion holds that the real saboteurs were never found. Huh.
Probe away.
Solarian Special Forces. Ooh, Iso. Big Iso Mountain.
Launching probe.
I also have to confess that more
Launching probe.
than one occasion I wanted to watch something else while streaming myself.
Launching probe.
Although it only works with Valorant, to be honest.
Launching probe.
I do like to enjoy my story games by actually paying attention to the story.
Launching probe. Probe launched.
ESA. Our organized planet ESA has a thin atmosphere of methane and ethane, and rocks deposit largely trapped beneath the ice were never considered valuable enough to mine since synthetic substitutes and alternative sources became widely available. Depleted. Huh. This planet. Maybe we didn't just scan Hagalas. Enizo.
Probe launched.
Hagalas' second-tier garden world that receives little attention from galactic community. Solarian mining expedition. Oh my god. Initially discovered the planet, which was promptly strong-armed away from them by organized crime figures. Hagalas' exploration rights were then sold to the highest bidder, which led to a brief burst of mining colonies in the 2000s. But the most of those were abandoned when other planets were found with more accessible resources. Though Hagalas has a nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere capable of supporting life, its rotational period is slower than Earth, making its day and night 28 Earth days long. The intense heat on one side of the planet and extreme cold on the other make for violent storm cells wherever the sun is rising or setting. As a result, the flora and fauna of Hagalas have developed the capability to live in cycle of ice, flooding, baking heat, and dramatic air pressure changes. The biota of the planet has been largely unexplored by exotic pet and gardening traits, since simulating their natural conditions is problematic for the average consumer. So there are living creatures, but we just don't really know what they are. Krogan DMZ. We should check this place out, then check the Krogan DMZ out, and then we should be free to jump into the missions. Invictus. Home to Dextrum in acid-based life, Invictus temperate zones were settled by Turian population that initially fell prey to a bewildering number of diseases. 2 decades after its first colony was founded, its population had reduced by half due to fatalities and a large colonistic exodus. But when the Primarchs considered ceding the planet to robo mining interest, the Turian statesman Shastina Empress ambitiously declared that she would start her own colony and double the population within 5 years. The effort succeeded, largely due to the colony's location in deserts with minimal number of pest species. The image of Shastina's triumph in the frontier made for good political theater, and the Turian population poured in. The planet's tropical belt still remains largely unexplored, as its aggressive organic life still wreaks havoc on Turian biology. A house is an Invictus jungle is a modern Turian phrase for an idea that seems like a good idea but only to the one who came up with it. Invictus' atmosphere is primarily nitrogen and oxygen, and its surface crust varies but has high concentration of alumina and silver. Because it can support life easily, criminals throughout the Terminus system hide out on Invictus. Its official population is estimated to be half the number of sapiens that are actually on the planet. So double with illegals. See?
Probe away.
Probe launched. Probe launched. Yeah, imagine the level of quality of surveillance, mass scanning, cameras and stuff one would have to deal with. An international. Interplanetary. Excuse me, international. Interplanetary criminal sphere is an interesting concept. Launching probe. Probe launched. Probe away. Probe launched. Oh, I just went into a down the dark hole in my thoughts. Probe away. Recent issues with mass surveillance and privacy in Discord especially. Probe away. It's like the same problem as thinking humans would think with the death penalty. It's not that the death penalty itself is bad, it's that you cannot trust the people who will decide who deserves it. A pressure cooker planet with a thick nitrogen-heavy atmosphere is largely ignored by the galactic community. Probes have revealed a crust of nickel and scorched carbon, both of which can be found in abundance elsewhere at far lesser temperatures. Probe launched. Because logically speaking, probe away. Every society would benefit from death penalty for certain crimes, but and not supporting specific types of criminals for life. But the problem is that if you allow it for some people, it will be misused against other people, so you have to not allow it for anyone. Which same can be said with mass surveillance and privacy infringement. A pressure cooker planet with a thick nitrogen-heavy atmosphere is largely ignored by the galactic community. Probes have revealed a crust of nickel and scorched carbon, both of which can be found in abundance elsewhere at far less temperatures. Pietas. Though Pietas is a combination of features that make terraforming a possibility, the rights to the planet have been tied up in Citadel Council courts for the past 8 years. The running joke is that by the time the Council finally gives the go-ahead to colonize the planet, Pietas will have evolved to life of its own. Home to comfortable temperatures and mild atmosphere of mostly nitrogen, and argon, Pietas could be habitable with the addition of oxygen-producing cyanobacteria. Its crust is high in silicates and carbon, allowing for easy fabrication of construction materials. Smugglers, pirates, and other unregistered starships sometimes touch down on Pietas to lay low or make repairs. Civilian travel is not advised. Probe launched. Probe away. Probe launched.
Anomaly detected.
Ooh. Aquatus. Home to famous iron canyons, Aquatus had reddish iron oxide dust, hematite, covering much of its surface. Significant blue cobalt deposits that freckle the terrain. Touring explorers have discovered hot springs in the polar ice caps, heated by magma in the planet's crust. In a strange combination of science and hucksterism, a small facility exports water from these springs, which is bottled and sold as having medicinal properties. The funds are then used to maintain a research station which has discovered some fossil evidence that Aquatus once harbored microscopic life based on deoxyribonucleic acids in these springs.
Beacon triggered by Universal Distress Protocol. Unregistered user. Record damaged. Status is unknown. Beacon triggered.
Probe away.
Beacon triggered by Universal Distress Protocol. Unregistered user or record damage.
Probe launched. Something on our sensors.
Server scans report potential alien signatures from within the mining facility. Anomalous life sign detected. Whereabouts of facility staff unknown. Let's see. Turians. Possible Turians. Jacob. I don't use ammo powers, to be honest. They're kinda not my style. Also just don't have enough presence of mind to remember to use them. No. And what was that? That's not a Turian skeleton. That's very much a human. Let's say. Also, I would appreciate. Ah! Husks. I think against husks we should. Reapers. If you're reading this, get the hell out of this place now. I will try changing my submachine gun next time. I don't like this
Enemies ahead! I'm going!
I didn't actually mean to make you go. Why is he red? Why are you red? Why is he red? don't like this place. What are the red ones? Abomination.
Stun them! Eyes ahead! Yes!
Don't come near me, please. Stop making that noise, please.
Hostiles!
Creepy. Disgusting shit. Alien machine discovered. Smiths and men dug out some kind of alien machine today, like nothing I ever saw. Called up some of my contacts and found out there is a market for this kind of thing. Looks like some squints over Delano's risk control are willing to part with a ton of credits to get their hands on one of these things. Far be it from me to deny them a chance to pay me. Can you stop making the frickin' noise while I read? A strange glow. Cooper and Jurgensen say that they saw a damn alien thing glowing and hella if I'm going near it to prove them wrong. I don't get paid enough to expose myself to weird alien artifacts. I have to admit though, that's an awful pretty sound coming from that black room. Cooper, Jurgensen, and them ain't doing so well, not feeling so good myself either. Stay near the machine, feel better. Not sure I want to let them Elanos folk take it. Think it should stay right here with us. And did you enjoy your time with the machine?
Shepard, I detected powerful alien signature deep within the mines. It appears the device is the source of the husks. It is likely that destroying it would stop them.
And stay down.
Jacob. Do I get a... What's it called? Trophy. For using my melee.
Heads up!
Was I?
Shields have failed.
I did get a trophy, but also about to die. And I... No, there's too many of them. I couldn't heal in time.
I'm going!
Shepard, I detected powerful alien signature deep within the mines. It appears the device is the source of the husks. It is likely that destroying it would stop them.
Firing a high-impact shot! One less to worry about.
Tag! Back off!
Seriously, how do you get through them? They body block you. Too many. Destroyed your indoctrination device. Didn't go upstairs to see what was there, but that's fine. It was scary and unpleasant. Run DMC. Wee. Ooh. Big boy. Munt. The Class B blue giant Nith has once most the strategically valuable system within Krogan territory. Though far too hot for habitable planets, Nith emits countless of them. Wait. Fish.
Samara wants a moment with you, Commander.
I forget my fish can die if I don't feed them after every mission.
Samara wants a moment with you, Commander.
I am aware. Though far too hot to habitable planets, Nith emits thousands of times the energy of the main sequence star like Earth's Sol. With help from Solarian uplift teams, the Krogan constructed a chain of solar-powered collector stations in orbit around Nith. These vast terrains beam power to particle accelerators on the surface of Mountain, which manufactured anti-proton fuel for warship thrusters. In the Krogan rebellions, the Spectre agents managed to get virus into the computers of solar power arrays. Every fifth array suddenly applied braking thrusters. The arrays behind them piled up and all were reduced to wreckage. This has since dispersed into a relatively stable ring system. The Krogan never had the resources to rebuild the solar arrays, depriving them of their fleet's main fuel supply for the remainder of the war. The practical accelerators still exist on Mountain, but have not been used in thousands of years.
Launching probe.
You uplift them, then you punish them.
Probe Probe launched.
You give and you take away.
Probe launched. Launching probe. Probe launched. Launching probe. Probe launched. Launching probe. Probe away.
Wee. Wee. Right through the sun. Tula. Tula's methane ammonia atmosphere traps the blistering heat of Nith, driving days temperatures up to 1,000 degrees. While some loads of useful metals are present, the planet's incredible heat makes mining impractical. I'd say. With 1,000 degrees. Vard. Vard, the methane ammonia ice giant, until the Krogan rebellions, and had a sizable helium-3 fuel refining infrastructure. Once the solar rays orbiting Nith were destroyed, the constant flow of antiproton tankers visiting the system disappeared. There was little point in maintaining the facilities, but they were shut down and abandoned. Today, the ancient stations are squatted by transients, criminals, and outcasts. Although few are safe for habitation, neither the Krogan nor the Council Demilitarization Enforcement Mission CDEM patrols care if they take their chances. Dranek. Why do I remember Dranek? Or is it just because it's kind of food? I think like it reminds me of some kind of East European food. Kalium is a tonically inert rock with an atmosphere of krypton, xenon, and argon. There are a few valuable loads of light metals scattered across the surface, but these are difficult to find. Most were mined out in the years leading up to the Krogan rebellions.
Probe launched.
Door. Door is a conventional methane ammonia ice giant and is the main fueling port for the Dranek cluster gateway system. Vildia Station is the quarters for patrol ships of the Council Demilitarization Enforcement Mission, lies at the trailing land range point of Door. The CDM locks all ships passing through the Krogan demilitarized zone and has the right to board and search them for contraband at any time for any reason. There are no exceptions. At points over the last 2 centuries, diplomatic incidents have been caused when patrol frigates boarded an Asari hospital ship, a Batarian diplomatic courier, and a privately owned human tramp freighters. These measures are provided for under the terms of Krogan armistice. While the Krogan were allowed to retain the government and personal weapons, any attempt to provide starship-mounted weapons to the clans on Tuchanka is punishable by law. Nearly a millennia after the war ended, the official penalty for smuggling prescribed weapon is still death by spacing. Death by spacing. For selling starship weapons to Krogans. Southgoth. Southgoth is a small ice dwarf with an eccentric orbit. During perigee, portions of its icy surface sublimate into a thin atmosphere of nitrogen and carbon dioxide, which quickly freezes again as it recedes into outer reaches of Draenek's system.
Probe away. Probe away. Probe away.
Oh.
Probe launched.
What are these? Moons? Rothla. Once Rothla was a large ice dwarf with the statistics listed below. In the waning years of the Krogan rebellions, it was shattered onto a field of debris by what is assumed to have been the test of an exotic weapon system. In the wake of the event, the planetoid was reduced to a relatively contained field of thousands of tiny moonlets rotating around one another, colliding and ricocheting. The method used to destroy the planetoid was never meticulous. The Krogan clan who performed the experiment apparently all died in the event. Ships that have traveled to the edge of this event's light cone observed a moment of extreme gravitational lensing around Rothla immediately before its breakup, but no other clues. A popular excellent meme put forward by Sari author Delsey Orthisa insisted the Turians are covering up for the existence of Krogan's superbiotic breed that was genetically engineered within Rothla. The CDEM enforcers quarantine around the Rothla field, citing causes of amateur investigators whose ships come to grief in the debris field. Interesting. Also ESO.
Probe away.
So it's probably not supposed to be this shape, it's supposed to be a bunch of broken up pieces.
Probe away.
This is probably what it looked like before it was destroyed.
Probe launched.
Give me the ESO.
Launching probe. Probe launched. Probe away. Launching probe. Launching probe.
Oh, yeah. Vaul is a hydrogen helium gas giant named for an ancient Krogan deity that stood watch for an enemies of his pantheon. The gas giant's moons are named after some of Vaul's mirrored eyes and ears. The only reason to visit the Vaul system is scientific curiosity, which the Krogan lack. I feel like they are a bit overgeneralized, as same as Metarians. Like, I get that they were uplifted, but were they uplifted from like Dark Ages? No, they were uplifted from this what's it called? What was it called? ecocide, which they caused by probably overdeveloping their technology the same way humans are doing now. You can say that. Humans lack scientific curiosity. They just lack humanity and empathy and forethought. One of Cannon's hemispheres contains an impact of greater 700 kilometers in diameter, dubbed as the Rankin Basin. It was mined for light metals in the interbellum between the Vrakni War and Krogan rebellions. Any obvious resource concentrations have long since been stripped. But if you think about it, this probably means that Krogans are like the closest race to humans.
Probe away.
In real life humans are the closest to Krogans. Based on our behavior and treatment of our planet. The small of Aralak and reproduction as well. Hydrogen helium gas giants maintains a small helium-3 recovery infrastructure, although the depth of Rome's gravity well makes it inefficient to export. Visitors to the rock system often top off their fuel tanks at Rome stations. The Council Demilitarization Enforcement Mission maintains a token garrison to monitor any potential sale of fuel to known subversives and terrorists.
Launching probe.
Durak. Or Durak. Is a small heat-blasted rock lost in the blinding glare of a star Aralak. It occasionally traps a trace atmosphere of gases blown in an Aralak's powerful wind, which this actually means idiot in Russian, which is why I'm laughing, which inevitably blows the gases back out again. The planetoid has a few valuable lodes of heavy metals which were sporadically mined by the Krogan at the height of their power. In the closing years of rebellions, the 5 clans working in the planetoid felt fighting over a particularly rich deposit of iridium. All 5 clan warlords agreed to a crush, a meeting at a neutral location, to negotiate a truce. Unfortunately, all 5 were out planning to betray their fellows. While the leaders and their seconds meant all their bases were destroyed by simultaneously hyper-velocity cannon strikes, was left with only the food, water, and air in their hard suits, and with no way to call rescue. The warlords apparently fought each other to the death. The survivor of the 5 Durak clans and Tuchanka still argue about which clan's warlord was the last one standing. And I guess the planet name matches the behavior
Probe launched.
of the warlord. Warlords.
Launching probe. Launching probe. Launching probe.
Is it just a chunk left? Oh, this one. It's highlighted. It's made me think I already explored it. Kruban is a tidally locked Venusian hothouse. Its surface perpetually obscured by clouds of sulfur and carbon dioxide. The first group of Krogan brought into orbit by Solarian uplift teams requested a trip to Kruban. The Solarians at first thought the Krogan were confused about the nature of Kruban's environment. The planet is named for Krogan mythological paradise in which honorable warriors feast on the internal organs of their enemies. In fact, Vaughan astronomers had correctly deduced the nature of Kuban in the years before the global Holocaust. In the 2 millennia since, Kuban had come to be thought of as an ideal test of one's toughness. Every year, a few Krogan attempt to land on Kuban, exit their ships naked, and attempt to prove their Kroganhood. The planet's surface is littered with the crushed, corroded remains of their ships. Only one, Shath Norda, is known to have returned from the surface alive, albeit with most of his bones crushed and all 4 of his lungs damaged by sulfuric gas. Norda recovered from his trial to the adulation of his people. Until he died in 1943, he could live with any fertile female he wished.
Probe away.
Yeah. I think
Probe launched.
Krogan's definitely the closest to human race.
Launching probe.
Although I highly doubt it that we will have Solarians come around and save us from our ecocide. What it's called? Global Holocaust. That's coming in the next 10 years. Scarred by the bombardment craters, radioactive rubble, choking ash, salt flats, and alkaline seas, Tuchanka can barely support life. Thousands of years ago, life grew in fierce abundance under the F-class star Arlak, the Rake plant word meaning Eye of Wrath. Free analogs grew in thick jungles, their roots growing out of shallow, salty seas. Seas. Life fed upon life in an evolutionary cubicle. This world died in a nuclear firestorm after the Gorgon split the atom. A little ice age of nuclear winter killed off much of the remaining plant life. In recent centuries, many Gorgon have returned to their homeworld. The reduced albedo has caused global temperatures to rise. In order to maintain livable temperatures, the vast shroud was assembled at the L1 Lagrange point. It is maintained by the Council Demilitarization Enforcement Mission, which is based on orbiting battle stations. Shroud. Climate control. CDM advisory: visitors to Chanka land at their own risk. The CDM will not attempt to extract citizens threatened by clan warfare. Travel advisory: the ecology of Tuchanka is deadly. Nearly every native species engages in some predatory behavior, even the remaining vegetation is carnivorous. Travel beyond guarded areas is strongly discouraged.